Tuning into the Jam Hour, where we talk on the hottest topics. Sunday nights at 8 p.m. CT on YouTube.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back. This week, I have rapper and creative director Shorty-G here, aka Kai Kayani. Kai, it's been nearly 10 years.
10 years.
It's been nearly 10 years since we last seen each other. For those who don't know, we are coming up on our 10-year class reunion. Whew. 2016.
Man, oh man, that was a long time ago. I don't even
No, at this point, right?
At this point, 2016 feels like it's light years ago. How are you? How have you been?
Well, we're back. Look with the Jam Hour, okay? For those who who ain't caught up,
they don't know.
They don't know. We're coming back after a 10-year hiatus with the Jam Hour, and so it's been 10 years for me since I've actually put myself on the forefront, representing myself and what it is that I stand for. And so it feels good. Speaking of feeling good, what do we expect to happen for our 10-year anniversary? Because you were on leadership. Yeah. Shout out. Was it vice president?
I was the freshman representative.
It was a freshman Girl, why wasn't you? Wait, you didn't run for senior?
No, I didn't run for president or vice president. I knew that once I got in the theater, it was like, okay, it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be able to do both really well. So I was the freshman representative, and that's why most people are expecting.
I was 11th grade rep.
I remember.
Yeah, I was 11th grade rep, so I ain't even on the board. Okay, look.
Here you go.
They didn't skip over a level. No, it's good. It's good.
No,
you
need to be on the board. You need to come on.
Here is my way of patronizing and being on the board. What do we expect for our 10-year? I know we're having August 2nd, a field day
August 22nd.
Oh, August 2nd.
We're having a field day. It's our 10-year anniversary, or our 10-year reunion is what it's called. The theme is healing your inner child, and we're gonna just be celebrating each other and kind of making sure we're okay, just checking up on each other, and it's been 10 years. A lot of things have happened. If you were in class of 2016, a lot of things have happened.
A lot of people have transitioned, know.
Right? Yes. Exactly. So we're gonna come and we're gonna celebrate them. We're gonna celebrate ourselves. We're gonna have games and food and drinks. If you buy a ticket now, you get 2 free drink tickets. I'm just saying.
2 free drink tickets.
And then if you buy your ticket before, I think it's the 10th, you get 1 free drink ticket. So get your tickets in, come visit us, come hang out with us. And then afterward, we're going to have a little after party. So, but you gotta be in the know for the after party.
Okay, you gotta be in the know. Now, look, here's your prequel into being in the know. Make sure you guys take public transportation.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Or Uber.
Uber.
Get that Uber app.
It's that type of night.
It's that type of night. We're not playing no games in that sense.
So I know I read a little bit about the event. You guys mentioned something about showcasing artwork or just people's work in general that they've done. Yeah.
So we want you to submit different things that you've done over the last 10 years that you're really proud of, or even if you just want to introduce us to a new part of your life.
Yeah.
We want you to submit those pictures and submit those, pieces of work. And then we're going to have a section, if you will, that showcases the different things that people have been doing since 2016.
And it's going to be at OSA, I heard.
It is. It's going to be at OSA. If you don't know, the new park at OSA is called Cloud Park. And it's going to be at Cloud Park.
Was that, just side note, was that dedicated to?
Yes.
Okay.
It's called Angus Cloud Park.
Okay. See, I didn't go to the grand opening. Okay. So I figured when I heard Cloud, I was like, okay, I knew. That was nice.
And Mr. Oz wants to make it a skate park, which how big our boy was on skateboarding.
Yes.
So it's a whole thing, but we're going to be inaugurating Angus Cloud Park, if you will. Which,
I got to be there. I got to be there.
You got to be there. You got to be there. And you got to be there.
I do. And so for anybody who's watching the show and from our class, I love you guys, and I really do hope to see you guys out. Make an effort. I just went to my mom's 10-year. Well, no, excuse me, not 10. How could she have a 10-year and I got a 10-year? We ain't the same age.
Wait a minute.
She think we is, okay? Look, but no, she just, I think it's her 3rd class reunion since graduating. She's class of 91, and she went to Skyline High School, and so I just went to their class reunion, and they did a picnic where they had family coming through, and it was so unorganized, and they knew. Class of 91.
Not it was unorganized.
Do better, okay? Please. But no, they knew. But it was just to see though, even with us taking the initiative or with you taking the initiative and making sure, our class comes together, you won't believe how many classes really just be dropping the ball. Like, there's no integrity when it comes to keeping up with each other or just making sure you're doing things that are inclusive and highlighting, like what everybody is into, if you will, and
Exactly.
kind of incorporating that.
Absolutely. And shout out to the committee, because there are some other things that we want to do as well that are just going to highlight togetherness and community and being able to just check on each other and, creating those bonds again, or dusting the bonds off.
Right, because they still there. As long as we're here, they there. Okay. So given that, I do want to talk about your journey at OSA. I know you came for theater. I originally thought you were in literary. You switched to theater.
Yes.
And so I don't know why I always thought you were in theater, but I want to talk about how that ultimately kind of led you into like your major for college and like deciding where you wanted to be.
Of course. I think first of all, I like to say that the first year that I spent in literary was like what am I looking for? Like a camp, basically, but like a writing camp that you go in, like some sort of intensive writing experience that like ultimately made me a better writer and a better songwriter. So I spent that first year there, and then when I got to OSA, I knew I wanted to be in the theater department. So I kind of just transferred into the theater department and spent 3 years perfecting my performance and like what it meant to be performing in front of people and like being on stage. And I recognized that, one, I was really good at it, but two, like it was what I wanted to do. So when I didn't get into the theater department in college, I kind of just took the same performance aspects and put them into being a rapper.
So you talk about, putting your college journey and putting those same efforts into college. You got your AA at Pace, and then you switched to UNLV. How was that journey like?
Oh my gosh. I loved the people that I met in New York, but I absolutely could not stand living there.
Really?
Like I hated living in New York.
I just went for the first time for my 27th birthday. I fell in love. I had a good time, and I really want to move there. I went in the winter. Everybody was like, "Why are you out here in the wintertime?" I mean, if I'm gonna move here, I gotta see how it is in the winter, right?
Yeah.
So I liked it.
No, I hated it. But I only hated it because I was going to school in one building, and in that very same building I was living in, and the food was in that building. Okay. So it was like I was never going outside during the day. Okay. I was outside, when the nighttime came on, when the sun went down. But that was bad for me because I needed the vitamin D. Or California girls. Like I needed to see the sun, and I was not seeing the sun, and I was like devastated.
No, that was like me when I was in college in Missouri. Them winters, I was white. Okay, girl, I needed that vitamin D. Okay,
girl,
no, for real. I understand.
And so I had to leave. I knew I had to leave. And realistically, I started making music at the same time that I knew I wanted to leave. Then I told my parents that I was just going to quit school and go to LA and just be a rapper, right? My parents were not having that.
That's not who they raised.
No, that's not who they raised. My dad called me. We had a 3-hour conversation, and he was like, "You're not doing that. Like, I know other people get to do that. You don't get to do that. But you can rap and I'll help you, but you need to be in school."
So let's talk about it. I know you're like a schoolaholic.
I am.
Getting that
I'm addicted to school.
Second master's degree, you guys. Like we have a proud scholar on her way to get her PhD. Okay.
Hello.
Like, come on. I'm right behind you. I still need to get my first master's, but let's talk about it. Like from wanting to drop out to now second master's. Like,
I think I get school. Okay. You know what I mean? New York was the reason why I didn't like school when I was at Pace, but not because, and I was like overloading my class load, but specifically because I really liked the classes, right? I wanted to take 6, 7 classes.
You know, units add up.
Then them units add up, and then it's like homework.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always been bad at, homework. So anyway, moral of the story is, when I got to Vegas and I started being able to like take as many classes as I wanted to, but also be outside and see the sun and like flourish and meet other artists, that's when I really started to like love school and like fall in love with like being in a classroom. Like even stuff like this, right, where we're just talking, like I love experiences like that because I love connecting with people and talking to people, and that's cool, 100%.
I know, like, some people don't get it either because, like, my mom, I'm one of the first people in my family to complete college and have my own bachelor's degree.
Period.
And so
Period. Eat
come on,
that up.
come on. And so given that, like my mom, sometimes she doesn't get why I want to go get my master's. She's like, the world, you can get your master's in life. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
Yeah,
you're right,
she sound
mommy.
like my dad.
Yeah, like you right, mama. Because I come from a history of entrepreneurs who have successful business. I'm you know, we sitting in one, you know? And so for me to be able to see that without a college degree, it is inspiring. However, I know what you mean when you're like, I'm addicted to school. Like, I really like being able to like separate time and space to learn. And like, because I know for me sometimes, like I can't do everything at home. It's okay to go to a coffee shop.
You can.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's
like,
important to go outside.
so college to me is like me kind of setting that intention to learn and dedicate that time, or else who knows? I could be going weeks and weeks saying I'm going to do something and then I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like this carved out time that you have, specifically knowing that you're trying new things, you're like going out and learning things, you're meeting new people. I think the first week of my first master's program, I probably shook 1,000 hands. Like I probably met 1,000 people and like talked to that many people. Yeah. Just fellowshipping and like networking and
networking, like that's the biggest thing. You learn about nepotism. That was the biggest reality check for me in college, was nepotism. And so for me, like that kind of leads me to my next question for you was, were you expecting to go the entrepreneurship route, or given the, you know, the stature of your school, were you expected to like have a guaranteed job? Talk about it.
That's a crazy question. I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. I've always been one. I was the kid that had a lemonade stand in the middle of East Oakland. Like, I knew I was going to have a business. I don't really like the idea of working for somebody else's dream and not working for my own, right? So I knew that was the route I was going to take. Now, USC, they have the Trojan Network, right? And one of their biggest selling points is the Trojan Network will like do anything for you. You know what I mean? I still wear my USC sweatshirt walking through the airport every time, because you will meet. I've met somebody randomly in North Carolina that was like, oh, SC, fight on. And we struck up this conversation. So you will meet the network everywhere.
Yes.
It's such a, like at the same token, it is such a hard job market right now. So not a lot of people are just getting jobs straight out of school. Yeah. Especially in the fields that I'm like going after. Yeah. Which is understandable because there's so much money getting cut from arts funding. Oh, I could go on for days.
And no, I'm glad you said it, because no one understood why I went to the University of Missouri, like for college. Like after I attended Laney and did my 2 years, because USC was one of my dream schools. Pepperdine was actually one of my dream schools. Period. LMU. I was ready to be a SoCal girly again, because you know I grew up in LA, so I was really happy to go back there. But when I thought about it and thought about like what I was going to LA for, it was for nepotism. It was because I have family, I have connections in LA. Oh, on top of me going to a school in LA, that's just the icing on the cake. And so once I realized that I wanted to have my own connections and I wanted to be responsible for my own name in this industry, not my family's name, you know what I'm saying, or who they may know, and then like that. So once I discovered that, I was like, okay, I'm happy to go to Mizzou to take that leap of faith on my education as well as my career, because I know Mizzou is a different network. And so by tapping into this network, I'm now opening a lane that I wouldn't get in just being from California, right? You know? And so saying that is like, when you mention not having that like immediate glorification or that immediate job after college, I feel that, because if I would have went to USC expecting to get that, I would have probably been like, what the, but I understand now, like even coming out of Mizzou, is that like, I don't want to have to work for smaller networks to build my name up. Do you know what school I went to? First of all, like, you know,
like I'm not gonna just like, there's a certain je ne sais quoi about it. It's a certain like, nose up a little bit, like no shade, but like
I was already working for NBC, like in college. So what makes you think I'm gonna go down to something lower than y'all? Thank you. We all set the bar. We go higher.
They set the bar. Yeah. Like we're sitting in these classes, rubbing shoulders with these people. Like I'm not, you know.
My question to you is, what would you say the difference is in someone possessing a skill versus someone having that skill, but also understanding their right and how to use it?
I think nowadays it's so easy to be skilled. We have access to resources directly at our fingertips that will allow us to learn a skill. You know, you can pop open YouTube right now and learn how to fix a car, or like learn how to, I mean, people are watching YouTube now and like learning how to sing and like be the best singer that you can be, or be the best X, Y, and Z you can be, right? You go to YouTube University. You really don't even, like, a lot of people feel like you don't need to go to college anymore because they're using YouTube videos.
I know. Yeah. Exactly. Yep, we know.
Anyway, to bring it back, you can learn how to do a skill at any time, basically. But not knowing where to go and like how to get there is what's going to stop you and like slow you down. And ultimately, you're not going to be leading anybody in any direction, and you're going to be leading yourself in the dark because you don't know where to go.
Right.
So you're going to like, you're walking in that circle.
So that's the difference between like not being in competition versus like being in competition with somebody versus like knowing what you're doing and how to make this accessible for everybody.
Yes.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to be in competition with everybody kind of wanting to be influencers or content creators. You don't have to feel like you're in competition with them. You need to learn how to set yourself apart and do something differently and utilize this platform to make a difference. And then also take feedback to be able to be corrected, to know what you can do differently to make sure people are connecting and resonating with you. So I just wanted to ask you that because I know you're a creative director. And so I wonder at times when you're building teams or when you're not necessarily getting the clients that you want, do you ever feel like, oh, I'm in competition? Or is it more so like, what can I do to stand out better as a creative leader?
Oh, it's definitely what can I do to stand out better. You can't focus on the competition, right? You'll get too stuck in looking side by side. I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, like, Michael Phelps is not looking at his competition, he's looking at the finish line.
Come on.
It's the same thing. Like, if you're looking to your left or your right, the person who is in front is going to be looking straight and they're already almost there. But you're too busy looking at them to even get there. You know what I mean? Now, taking away the competition aspect, a lot of the reason that I think people are getting lost is because they're trying to like compare and contrast where they don't really compete, or like they don't really need to show up because God has some other like different vision for them, but they're not even looking over here because they're too busy looking over here. You know?
That's a word. That's a word. Come on, preacher. Come on, preacher. No, for real. And that leads me into why community, accessibility, and sustainability is so important when it comes to building your audience. Because if you're not rooted in first God, right, you're kind of you're doing this. You don't know where to go. And so I want to know, given your professional experience, why would you feel community, sustainability, and accessibility is important?
Community, sustainability, and accessibility. First of all, you're nothing without your community. We as human beings at the ground level, we are nothing without the people who are around us. You don't really survive well without a community. And it'll hinder you to be in the wrong community. So we want to be building communities that are safe spaces for us to be our perfect selves, right? Our best selves. Not perfect, because nothing's perfect, but our best selves. So community in that sense it's everything. It has to be the cornerstone of everything that you do. Otherwise, you're missing out on the purpose for why you're supposed to be here. Sustainability leads into that because you want to be able to have these communities for a very long time, right? You want to keep them sustainable, but you also want to be able to say that you're living sustainably so that when you're creating whatever it is that you're creating, you're not just taking and not giving anything. You want to make sure that you're giving back so that, the plants can grow. And as for accessibility, I mean, why would you not want everybody to enjoy what it is that you're building? Everybody that you're targeting, right? Because some communities are built for very specific communities. That's fine. Why wouldn't you want to make sure that everybody that's in that community can be a part of that safe space?
No, so I don't know if you've ever been to La Russell. Like that's like that kind of reminds me like his events. Like it's like creating that safe space. Yeah, for his
Absolutely. He has created
the backyard.
that backyard. He's created this space for his community to be able to say, you know, we feel safe to come in here
And access your music.
Exactly. Access your music, access your art, access the community like resources that you have in here. Access.
I've been. It's really nice.
I haven't been yet, but I've been gone. So
I had a great time.
they
had tacos. I can't complain. Okay, free refills on drinks, like
that's
music.
What I'm saying.
No,
like
bro.
he makes it amazing for his community, and I love that about him. I think he's done great work for the Bay Area. You know what I mean?
And in terms of that accessibility, sustainability, and community. So he's definitely hitting all three targets, and so that's kind of like the way I. Kind of like an example of what I mean by what that means for your audience and like the way that they're able to now relate and connect with you. Yeah. And so speaking of which, I know you just released an EP.
I did.
Choose One.
The Choose One EP.
Let's talk about it. I know you are doing some other endeavors, and so I know you mentioned like how they intersect, but they don't know. So I want to really like talk about it. Yeah. One of my favorite songs, you already know, Cool Whip.
We were just listening to that.
Yes. What inspired that creation?
Oh my goodness. So I think I was inspired by the entire Choose One series is a game, I'll say. And I was inspired by this idea of interactive music and like what that would look like. How can we push the music industry and specifically hip hop, but like pushing the music industry in the direction of interactivity. Cool Whip specifically is, I'm pretty sure, I should have looked this up while when we had some downtime, but I think it's Rap Star. And if I'm correct, then that's the character who is new money, but also has this level of like survivor's guilt and like, how do you show up in a community where you want to save everybody, but some people, you know, have that crabs in the bucket mentality. So stuff like that. And I think the Choose One EP I created to introduce all of these characters and kind of like prime the audience for the story that I'm getting ready to tell them.
And so that makes it even more exciting for me because now I'm like ready to play because you already know Cool Whip is my character, but it just really like that's the creative genius part about it is that you're creating something from scratch. Yes. Like everything's from scratch. I know messing with you, you know, you're authentic. And so I think that's the difference between knowing your sound as an artist versus just being somebody who can perform and say something if they're given something, you know?
Yeah. Again, that goes back to anybody can learn how to be a performer now, but like, what is it that you're saying? I think art is a lot about perspective, right? And like having a point of view. Yeah. What is your point of view? And if you're not bringing any sort of new point of view, you're kind of just recycling old ones. You know what I mean? The term reheating your nachos, like you're just reheating these other people's nachos all day, but how many times do you really want to eat microwave nachos?
And that's why India Irie is like, y'all need to stop eating the microwave nachos, hun. Okay, and go get you some tortillas made from scratch, put it in some oil.
Now, I love my girl India Irie. And that's what I'm gonna say. I love her. Shout out to her.
I know what you're saying. It just kind of triggered me because I was just like, I was like, no, because for real, everyone, because when I really do think about your project, like you really are a lyricist, like you're a creative genius. Thank you. There's some people who can just perform. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody is a talented, like, There's some talented creatives, you know what I'm saying? But everyone's not a creative leader. And you exercise creative leadership in your music where you're telling people, I have ownership of this. But not only do I have ownership of this, I have the entire creative, you know, like what is the word? Creative
freedom.
Thank you on this. Like, I'm not stepping into something because my label said we need you to go in here and make some music, and we need it to be about ass. We need it to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Like, you're genuinely, authentically creating your sound.
Thank you. I think a lot of it has just been like trial and error. You know what I mean? Trying new things and being like, okay, I didn't love that, but like trying other new things and being like, wait a minute, I really liked that. Let's go that direction. And then finding a team that like will support you and like assist you and like kind of follow you at your, not every whim, but like follow you and like kind of see the vision, you know what I mean? If I didn't have the team that I have, I wouldn't be able to do nearly as much as I can do as quickly as I can. So get a good team and try new things.
So earlier you mentioned safe spaces. What is your ideal safe space as an artist?
Oof. Personally, I love like really darkly, dimly lit rooms and like being able to close out as much light as I can, or like choosing where the light is coming from. Cause I don't know, something about a cave like is really safe and like, okay, this is great. Things are warm in here. Like I'm having a good time. I don't like being cold, so it's gotta be warm in there, but then also like visually warm, you know what I mean? Like warmer lights and like, I love the stars. If I could have the stars out, like period.
If you don't mind me asking, where do you have this, like, is it a cave like in your home, like you have your own nook, or is it like you're saying like intentionally going out in nature and putting yourself
Oh my gosh.
in the devil's den? You know what I'm saying? But that is a real place in Missouri. Okay, I'm hollering. Yes, it is.
Screaming.
Or it's Devil's Icebox. That's what it's
Ooh,
called,
I ain't
the
going to no
Icebox.
Devil's Icebox.
I went for you, child. I went for you, child. It wasn't cold. It wasn't cold.
Really?
No, I went through it. See, this is in Missouri. When I was in college, I was doing some adventure. See, the Devil's Icebox. I wouldn't dare do that in California. I don't know, but I wouldn't dare do that. But no, so in Missouri, I went with a group of friends. It was actually a really fun time, but it was eerie because I'm a dreamer. So I had a dream. No, really. Like I had a dream that I was like kind of there, but in a different, like it was kind of like deja vu.
Right.
That's what it gave.
If you really like that, you
so it was kind of eerie a little bit, but it was just like, but it was fun. But they had a little cave. And so when you were describing that, I was trying to actually make sure you weren't talking about like actual cave. Okay.
I mean, like I would love to go into a cave. I feel like that would be really cool to record in. However, I'm really just talking about like in my room with the lights off. But like like I would love to do that. Thank you for that idea. I probably will do that at some point.
Oakland, when I was talking about my mom's class reunion, they went to Lake Temescal. Lake Temescal is so nice.
It is. I love Lake Temescal.
There's so many nice places around Oakland in the Bay Area. Like, so definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, the people don't know. Lake Temescal, Lake Chabot.
I still got to go over there. Like, I didn't grow up in Oakland, so I unfortunately didn't get to experience some of those parks. And so I have to kind of go heal my inner child.
Yeah, you need to go see about that.
I need to go heal my inner child. So speaking of that, I want to ask you, what led you to creating your creative agency, Smirk?
Smirk. If I boil it down to like one sentence, it was figuring out how I can be of assistance. You know what I mean? How I can help people. I think I'm so good at doing things for myself and then learning how to do something and then doing it for me that sometimes I forget that other people could use this brilliant knowledge that I have. And a friend of mine and I were taking a class, and it basically was like learning how to make pitches for artists and what that would look like and how to, strategize what it would look like for another artist to be in the music industry. And we got so good at that. We got A's in that class, child. So I was just like, of course, this is something that I think I would be really good at. And then we started it. We got into the new Venture Seed competition at USC, which is an entrepreneurship competition. And we didn't place, but getting into the competition, basically, like essentially we created everything that we needed to create the business
outside of school.
Exactly, for the venture. So we had everything that we needed to do, and we did it, and now we do it, and we're good at it.
Yes. And so we talk about building teams and being that creative leader. When you were younger, did you always aspire to be that?
The first play that I was ever in, we had to write our own bios. And at the end of my bio, it says, I want to be in every play ever created. And like, that's tea. I did.
Period.
Like, I knew who I was at a very young age.
Yeah, Maddie knew.
Exactly, Maddie knew. Kai knew at a very young age. And yeah, I mean, I worked hard to be where I am.
Mm-hmm. To your artwork.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how you still keep that same desire, even within music, even though although you said you anticipate being in every play, but like now you're creating music, right?
Yeah.
And so you mentioned something about unity. And bringing people together just like you would do in a play, right? So how with music do you feel like you're able to still get that opportunity?
Creating these spaces comes with being the leader of the chorus, right? We learn about in theater. And being able to stand up there and lead everybody into the same space, I think is like how I create that for myself. When you're listening to me, you come to see my show and I got a 45-minute set, we're going to sit down and we're all going to be in here together. It's going to be fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to sing. Maybe you're going to cry. But like, you're going to enjoy yourself. And I'm going to ask of you to buy into this space that we're creating. And if you can do that to me, if you can buy in, to the space, then I will make sure that you are entertained and you have a good time. And it might be this over here, but it might be this over here.
Yeah.
But it's an agreement between the both of us. And I think that's how I find that.
That balance. Because you are a great actress. She is built for the stage, y'all. Like, come on.
Thank you.
Like, no, for real. You. So to see you in this music light, that's new to me. Because I feel like I've always, like, after we graduated high school, just knew you were going that theater route, musical theater route, Broadway. Like, you and Danny. Like, my brother Danny, like, what?
Shout out to brother Danny.
Like, I knew. Like, y'all was just, like, that's,
Daniel.
yeah. Like, I just knew. And so given that, it's really refreshing to see you find something that you're so passionate about and kill that and give that your all, just like you were doing with theater. And so, yeah, like that's why you're here. Like that's why you're here today.
Hello.
And so given that, I know like hip hop is important to you. And so at what time did you notice there was something lacking with the music that you knew you needed to stand up for and like make a difference in?
I don't know if I noticed that anything was lacking. I think I just decided that this is who I was and I didn't see that. So I decided what kind of artist I was going to be first. And then I looked into the audience and saw that I didn't see anybody else who looked like that. So I kind of just stood up and said, okay, this is who I am and this is what y'all need since nobody else is doing it. And I think that goes back to like knowing your internal vision and knowing where you're going and like what you want to tell, what kind of point of view you have.
Do you have any words of advice for someone who is aspiring to become an artist or setting out to become a creative director or even go to college?
Advice. Build community anywhere you are, no matter what. Build community. Find the thing that drives you, find your spark and show up. Like whatever it is that you're doing, if you're in class, if you are leading a group of people in song, if you're a dance teacher, if you are, whatever it is that you're doing, show up completely. 100% every time because it will make that much of a difference.
You looked at me and she said, show up. Okay. Like, I'm showing up. Okay. I will show up.
Hello.
I felt that.
No, you be showing up. So take notes. Take notes is my last one.
Yeah.
And watch the Jam Hour.
I love that. But before y'all watch the y'all watch the Jam Hour now. I want you guys to go check out her new visual EP. Well, it's not the EP. What is part of the EP? God Said. Yeah.
It's called Lemon Meringue. The EP, the visual EP is called Lemon Meringue. God Said is one of the songs.
Okay.
But they all lead into each other. It's all a cyclical circle.
Because I was looking back at your previous albums and I see how some of your songs, like you'll put it on like another one. And so I was a little confused. Because I was like, wait a minute, was it on that? Was it on Choose One? It wasn't.
No,
you did it.
No. Those were two different EPs.
Okay,
I've been making a lot of songs, yeah.
But no, this visual is intense, and I really commend you on that. And I was about to, wrap it up. Before I let you go, I really, really enjoyed the visuals, and so I wanted to know just briefly, like, how long did that take into coming into fruition?
3 years, child.
See,
3 years. It took 3 years of blood, sweat, and tears. Come on, show up. Like blood, sweat, tears, money, time, but like effort from not just me, but from my team and from the people who worked with me. So thank you to you. Like, thank you to them, and shout out to them.
Yes.
And then patience, I would say, is the biggest one. Like learning how to be patient with myself. But I definitely had to bring my acting chops back out for that one.
No,
and people were on set, they were like, girl, you kind of did that.
You love this.
You did that. And I was like, yeah, girl, yeah.
No, it was intense. It was intense. So make sure you guys go check out that. I'm glad you came.
Thank you for having me.
Any questions for me before I let you go?
When you want me back on?
Girl, no, you're going to come back. You're going to come back. Because I love for everybody to come back at least 2-3 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part of the Jam Hour is to see your progress. So, like, this is where you are today in 2025. Like, I can't wait to see we're going to do another probably 10 year look. But, no, for real. But, like, to see, like, where you go from now. Because, like, this is only the beginning. And so, the purpose of my show is to provide that platform while you're on your journey. You know what I'm saying? So, I would love for you to come back and share where you've been.
Heck yeah. And I can't wait to I'm gonna give you an exclusive tidbit in
10
years.
Okay, right. We're gonna have we might have some right. We have some other footsteps running around. You never know. You never know. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And make sure you guys are watching next week. I love y'all. See you soon.
You are now tuning into the Jam Hour, where we talk on the hottest topics. Sunday nights at 8 p.m. CT on YouTube.